Great. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Yes, we have audio now. Okay. Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to my world on Friday morning, the 18th of September. It's 8:30 in the morning, and we'll take a look at a few things. We don't have any news today, which isn't very surprising, since we had more than our fair share yesterday. Hopefully that'll get over with, but in December we'll see what they do. Anyway, oh yes, okay. I'm not sure if you can hear the little doorbell off of my computer or not, but I'm starting to use these price alerts. So if we hear a doorbell, that's what that is. Anyway, this morning, it looks like all the indices across the board are down a little bit. Everything's kind of taken the day to get over being jerked around yesterday, and I was really happy. If those of you who have never, if you're new and you haven't been here, sometimes when Daryl comes in, he has some really interesting things and very educational. So be sure and go back over that if you missed that yesterday. Those are great money-making opportunities. But this morning we have the indices all uniformly down. The currencies, especially the commodity currencies, the Canadian dollar and the Aussie dollar, are up overnight. We'll see how long that lasts. Bonds are up a little bit. They've been trending up overnight. And gold is trending up overnight. But our little friend crude oil is, oh my goodness, the early birds today really, they ought to be through, done, and bank their ticks by now. So this is a great example for the people who live in a different time zone, or they like to get up at the crack of dawn, and I would say before that. There was a terrific trade on crude oil this morning. So we'll take a look at that because these charts, I kind of am trying to get used to these. We have to learn how to either use shadow bars or continuum, and since these shadow bars have been adjusted, shall we say, fixed so I can see them, I really like these things. I think what I like the most about them is they have little upside down wine glasses here in them. So that's what it looks like to me. Here we have a champagne glass. Lori would call this, let me get my pointer here. I want to show you a couple things on here. It might help a little bit. This thing right here is what Lori would call a slingshot. And this is what she would call an elevator. They look a little bit different with these kind of bars. But this was a trade that could have been taken about 5:30 this morning. I mean, there were certainly trades before that. But if you missed taking this off of the midline of the ice, it could have been taken off settlement. It could have been taken off of there's a magnet right here. Looks like that's 46.70. It could have been taken from the break of the EMA. It could have been taken off of today's open. Could have been taken off of the red ice. But there was some significant movement here. And the reason you know that is because, as Leah pointed out yesterday, this RSI is real helpful in monitoring the validity. If you're new and trying to learn how to do this, and you're trying to figure out, gee, is this going to go higher here? Should I get in? Which way should I go? Watch this RSI, because when it comes above the red, I think this is an 80%, set to 80%, this red line. When it comes above there and forms this little peak thing, it is corresponding to the deviation mountain, and these tall bars, we don't quite have the obviousness of those P and A bars. This is an A bar right here that gets, these can be real fat, whereas used to be with the old ones we'd have a long wick right here. So this takes a little getting used to for me to see these. They're kind of fat, obnoxious bars right here, but these are this is a very valid sell signal right here. And then, of course, if you got the entry right, you need to manage your trade. So this thing, managing this, if you took profit and banked your ticks right here at the low of yesterday, fine. But understand, when it comes to having several streets here, this is a deviation level, this is a major magnet, and the low of the day. It's going to take some significant volume to get through here. So you expect, if you plan on this going down farther, you expect this kind of a behavior right in here at these streets while the bus driver gets his act together and decides if he's going to go on down. There is absolutely nothing wrong with taking this, say, to the half deviation, and then let the bus driver do what he's going to do and see what he does. Don't do anything until this clears the deviation, if it's going south, or gives you a second bar to tell you he's turning around here. But then take it again from the deviation or this major magnet, and my goodness, what a great trade. Just never stopped. Got down here and it's still going. It may go to this magnet right here. You know, it's one of those things you cannot predict where it's going to go, but if I had been in here through all this, I would be inclined to take my profit at the top of this zone. However, if you go to your 6 tick and look at that, this is where you can, I want to show you right up here how this 6 tick behaved when the bus driver got to these major streets. If you were in this and you got out right down here, this is fine, but you know you're going to have this kind of a behavior, so don't let that rattle you. You have the EMA is still trending down. If you tighten your stop up and you get stopped out, just wait for a better entry. But you know it's going to be a down entry because you got a lot of red apexes right here. You also, if you look at your time and sales, this is very valuable to see this flashing. The 10-minute is telling you that this thing is going down. It just keeps on keeping on. So this could go on down farther. We have no idea. Follow what indicators are telling you. Let me get this back. Just trade what you see. Ignore everything else. All right. And then Larry raises a great point. Today is, there's a lot of stuff happening in the options market. Today's known as triple witching, and there will be a lot of volatility today. So just be careful and pay attention to the indicators. Don't worry about what the talking heads say. Brent is pretty much, it's coming down. It's broken 48.72, but it's coming down towards 48.12. So Brent could turn around at 48.12, and we have the VIX softening quite a bit. It's already pushed itself down to the 21 handle, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't see anything else of major significance this morning, but yeah, hard talking. But like them, I don't get paid to do this, Larry. I just sit here and go blah, blah, blah. If it helps, fine, and if it doesn't, just hit the mute button. I sure don't take it personally. Anyway, this has been my view from my world, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll see you at noon.